All right, it is Thursday morning, January the 27th. I'm going to cut you a quick video update here during the 9 a.m. hour here and just give you some latest thoughts on the potential for some snow across the region as we go through Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and then pulling away early in the morning hours on Saturday. Not all of the latest suite of guidance is in. Normally, with the timing of an event, I really wouldn't put out my first snowfall accumulation forecast until probably this evening. But I'm going to go ahead and get you an idea out this morning, and I will show you that in just a second. First of all, there's your temperatures. Arctic air has moved on in. It was a very, very cold morning. A lot of folks in the low 20s, some teens here and there, and it's still, as we approach 10 a.m., sub-freezing in a vast majority of North Carolina. Storm tracker fairly quiet. We do have some clouds streaming overhead in the southern Piedmont and the upstate. Not a huge deal there. It'll be a pretty quiet Thursday weather setup. Now look at all the cold air. This is Arctic air that is in place in many, many spots across the central and the eastern part of the country. We have temperatures sub-zero in the northeast, Burlington, Bangor below zero, Chicago up to a balmy 24 after they were sub-zero yesterday morning. So the Arctic air is in place, and now we just await the arrival of our incoming storm system. All right, so let's take a look at the upper level chart. This is the 500 millibar vorticity chart. We've been talking about this, or I've been talking about this in my videos all week, and that being a key to the forecast. And there is still, even at this late hour, a pretty good amount of uncertainty with exactly how these pieces of upper level energy are going to interact. This is the regional Canadian. All right, so you have one piece of energy, really kind of a couple pieces of energy diving down through the plain states, another piece trailing behind. And all week I've been talking about when and if the interaction between those features would occur, the phasing would occur. And again, this is the regional Canadian. This is the 6Z run. I have not seen the 12Z run yet as I cut the video, but the overnight, or I guess the early morning run, shows you that trough phasing, those pieces of energy phasing, and then lifting up off the northeast coast. And if you were watching me on air on Spectrum News 1 yesterday, or in my video yesterday morning as well, I was talking about the growing potential for this band driven by upper level forcing, this band of snow that we kind of march from west to east across the region. I still feel pretty good about that. I think that's going to occur. Those are notoriously hard to forecast and see exactly where they're going to set up, and they can produce some surprises as they do. All right, let me show you the European. All right, this is the 6Z run of the European. All right, so here we are, 7 p.m. on Friday. There is 10 p.m., 1 a.m. Saturday. They're out to 7 a.m. Saturday there, and then the system pulls away. And the European is definitely picking up on that band of snow generated by the upper level energy. And I'll say this too, a lot of times if you get the upper level energy to kind of behave correctly, you can get some lee side enhancement that can really crank some unexpectedly high snow totals sometimes in the foothills and the adjacent Piedmont zones. Wouldn't be shocked if we had that happen here. It's not going to be the huge totals that we've seen in some of our past events when this happened. It's just not quite the same upper level setup, but there could be some high-end surprises in this band, assuming it does set up. So that, again, is the European model, and just take this with a grain of salt. These were the snow totals off the 6Z run of the European. And I'll say this right out. One of the biggest forecast challenge areas is right around the triangle. There is a lot of uncertainty whether this frontal band, or this upper level energy band, I should say, that forms in the foothills in the western Piedmont, Charlotte, and the Triad zone, whether it translates eastward or whether the disconnect between that piece of energy and the developing coastal low kind of skip over the triangle. That is a possibility, and there's a number of models showing that. Again, I'll show you my snow forecast in a minute, but there's a high degree of uncertainty really everywhere across the region, but especially around the triangle. All right, this is the Gfs model. I kind of showed you the snow totals first, but let me back this up. And again, on the 6Z run of the GFS, you see that frontal forcing, that frontogenical forcing with the upper level features there working through the region. And so the footprint of snow on the GFS looks... Well, let me get the right chart here. Here we go. Looks like this on that run of the GFS. A little further east, foothills, less precipitation. And again, this is all within the realm of possibility. Forecasting exactly where these bands on the associated with the upper level energy set up, notoriously difficult to do. Regional Canadian. All right, back that up. I'll show you that one. All right. It is favoring parts of the eastern triad and the triangle region, and then certainly points north and east, with less towards Charlotte and certainly less back toward the foothills. And the result of that is that for a snow chart. And just compare the difference here. All right, so look at the regional Canadian snow chart versus the European. Now, that's a significant difference for a good chunk of real estate in North Carolina. Finally, the North American model. This is the 12Z run of the NAM just rolling in now. In fact, I'm going to refresh that real quick and we catch the end of the run here. All right, so there it goes. It is really stingy with the precipitation back toward the I-85 corridor. And so you end up with something like that. High degree of uncertainty. And again, if you're watching this video and you're curious about places like the foothills, Charlotte area, Triad region, it's all going to be dependent on that upper level energy driven band of snow. If it develops, and if it does develop, how it puts down the precipitation. Now, I'm going to show you Futurecast here. It did a really nice job with our previous system in indicating the shield of snow as it worked on through. It was pretty aggressive and pretty consistent with keeping that shield of snow much further north and west than some of the other models. And I think it might have the right idea here. All right, so here we go. We're beginning at noon on Friday, tomorrow afternoon. Snow breaking out in the mountains. We then fast forward to 6 p.m. and there is that band of snow developing on the northwest side of this piece of upper level energy as it works on through. All right, so we then fast forward to 10 p.m. Band of snow affecting northern South Carolina, the entire Charlotte metro up to the northern foothills and the Triad region. Out to 2 a.m., that band slowly pivoting eastward. And then there we are at 6 a.m. as the surface low offshore kind of takes over and this whole system phases together. That band kind of weakens as it moves into eastern North Carolina as you get one powerhouse consolidated coastal low. And so, again, you could end up in this scenario with that minimum of snow over toward the Sandhills and parts of the Triangle region. Again, a very, very high degree of uncertainty. This is what Futurecast is printing out for snow totals. And again, you can see that eastern North Carolina minimum being indicated here as this system cranks up. I may have stopped it a little bit short before the end of the run, but you get the idea. That band of snow producing some snow accumulation, certainly on Futurecast on the I-85 corridor. So again, it is a very, very high degree of uncertainty with this forecast. And I'll say this, even up in the I-95 corridor up toward Boston and New York City, big uncertainty. So if you've been following the modeling, for instance, up around Boston, wild swings from one run to the next, just depending on how the system phases and how much precipitation gets thrown back into the cold air, how much warm air gets drawn in from the coast. So this is a very, very complex system, as these phasing type of systems always are. So that's what I'm thinking. Again, this is a very, very initial idea. Certainly adjustments are going to occur, but I just wanted to throw something out and give you a general idea. More uncertainty than normal. I'm just going to put that out there. I have less confidence in this snow forecast than a lot of my recent snow forecasts I put out. Mountains, you'll do okay, especially the favored northwest-facing slopes, because you'll get the northwest flow kicking in on the back side of this, and the favored higher elevation spots will do quite well. Across the Charlotte, Triad, and even the Triangle regions, I'm going to go ahead and put it into the trace to 2-inch territory. Now notice that plus, if that band of upper level energy driven snow sets up and cranks, there certainly could be some 3 or 4 inch surprises in there. And then the question mark really from the Triangle and points northeast is, when does that coastal low take over and how does the energy behave with that taking place? A lot of times, if you just looked at the surface low track, you think this area was a lock for 3 to 6 inches of snow. But again, I think there's a pretty high degree of uncertainty with how that upper level energy behaves. So for now, I have northeastern North Carolina in that 1 to 4 inch plus territory. Could adjust upward, certainly, if it looks like that coastal low is really going to perform. And again, keep in mind the entire range here. Trace, very light or even very insignificant accumulations to potentially a couple inches or more, just depending on how that band of upper level driven snow behaves as it works on through. Again, the timing of this Friday evening, Friday night, beginning Friday afternoon in the mountains. I do think driving conditions when the snow falls are going to be pretty rough later Friday night into Saturday morning. Arctic air takes over. It's going to be a bitterly cold day Saturday, and then a very frigid night Saturday night into Sunday morning. All right, remember, Spectrum News 1 there for you on television around the clock in the Spectrum News app. Lots of great content there for you on the app. Check it out. You can also, among many other things, check out a live stream from any of our stations across the country. That's it for now. Everybody, have a wonderful Thursday, and God bless.